Hello crafty friends, and welcome back to my channel. We are on week 2 of the sunflower collaboration that is being hosted by myself and Esther from the Trucking Scribe. There's 10 wonderful ladies that are participating in this. We've already had a bunch of wonderful videos showing different page ideas and ephemera ideas. So if you want to follow, if you're following along and you want to keep up with all the videos that have been posted, just go on to YouTube and search hashtag God's Beauty and Sunflowers. And it'll pop up all the videos from the participants. So, and then here's just a list of the participants. Now we do have, there is one talented lady. Her name is Janet Casey. She does not have a YouTube currently. She's posting all of hers on Facebook. But I will drop the link for the link tree. Then it has all the participants and all of their social media information on it. So, and don't forget, if you're following along and you're posting videos about this collaboration, don't forget to put in the description below the video that you post hashtag beauty. No, excuse me, that hashtag is wrong. I did not go in and correct that one. It is this one, God's Beauty and Sunflowers. I've got to go in and correct that. Okay, now, as you know, I've been doing a mini album. And I forgot to show y'all something on page 1. For page 1, I showed y'all how to go in and add the pages and all that. But to kind of like connect the pages, oops, let me drop this down a little bit. To connect the pages and to hold them together, I am adding ribbon. Now on this one, I forgot to add it under my base page, so I just took some of the circles and backed them onto cardstock, and I just used that just for a little added touch of decoration to the page. So, but yeah, you just attach a ribbon to the side like that. So I will be making sure that I do that on the second page, well, the second set of pages for the mini album that I'm doing. So first things first, before I add my base page, I've got on that one, it was the blue gingham. This is this gorgeous light purple gingham, and I measured down about 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to use my board here to do the same. It's roughly, guys. I mean, it's not an exact, if you don't want to do an exact. Well, no, actually, no, excuse me. I'm having them staggered. So, since my page, so I guess I am going to have to measure here. So now, I want my first one is a 1/2 inch from the top, and I want the last page one to be 1/2 inch from the bottom. If you remember correctly, our base pages are 8 1/4. So that would take this up to 7 1/4. And now, 3 1/2 and 3 1/2 is 7. So that would be here and here. I'm trying to think here, guys. I'm going to put one at 3. And my next one probably, because let's see, it's 1/2 inch. So if I go 1, 2, come up 1/2 inch from here. 1, 2. That would still leave too much of a gap. So let's see, 1 1/2, 2 1/2. Yeah, see, that's too much of a gap. So we're just gonna eyeball it here. So 3, Then add 1/2 inch to that, and that gives me 1, 2, 1, 2. So roughly, I'm gonna put it roughly about here. So I'm just gonna take my glue roughly about here. I mean, if you want to be more precise, you could pull out a centering ruler or something like that, but I don't have a centering ruler, so we just gonna wing it. There we go. So this is my closure, has been attached, and this is my backing. Now, you're probably thinking I'm gonna crack right here, but bear with me, because on the front here, I have this. It is a set of zigzag staggered pockets. Now, the first pocket here measures with the 1/2 inch tab you're going to create. It measures 6 3/4, and then you have the 1/2 inch tab right here. And tall, it measures 4. Now, there's an easy way to do this angle here. You start at your 4. Then you're going to come on the right hand side. Let's see. Yes. Your tab's going to be on your right hand side. So your 4 where you start at is going to be at the top right hand side. You want to come over to your left side and you want to measure down 2 3/4 of an inch, and you want to make a mark. Now, where your tab is right here at the very top, where the score line for the tab meets the top of the page, is where you want to take your ruler and put it up against your page and put it to where you mark the 2 3/4 inch on the left side, and you got the 4 inch mark here at the top where the score line for the 1/2 inch tab is at the top, and you want to draw your angled line and then just cut that top piece off, and that's your first. This is going to be your back part of this zigzag. So it will go here. Now, this is going to be the second piece of your zigzag. Again, it is 4 inches tall, and it is also, with your tab, it is 11 inches long. So with the tab here that's on the left, you want to make the 1/2 inch score on the left. So with the tab, it's 11 inches long. And then you're going to come in at 4 1/4 of an inch on the, so you've got this up against here. On your right side, you're going to measure in 4 1/4 of an inch, and you're going to score on the right side of the page. And it creates, just ignore that, I messed up when I did that. And you're going to fold that over like this and this back like this. We have the 1/2 inch tab here to give the pocket a little more room to add things, because this side of the page where the score line is going to be glued down to the right side of the page. So you've got your backing page here. Now your backing page measures 6 1/8 by 3 1/4. So that goes up here, and you got just a little bit of that pretty yellow peeking through, if you use yellow like I did. And now this one that doesn't have the flap, this one is going to go here. And then the one with the flap is going to go here, leaving just a little bit. Well, I'm going to bring it down to the bottom. Now, I'm going to come in here and adjust this a little bit because I want this pocket to sit a little bit higher. So, pretty much what I'm doing is you've got the corner of your pocket right here, the back pocket. You want to push that down to where it's just behind, and it fits just like that. So you have a taller pocket, and then your backing page sits behind like that. So let's go ahead and put our backing page down. I hope everybody has been enjoying all the videos from the wonderful participants of this collaboration. We've got some really talented ladies, guys. I know Esther, she created a like a planner with the kit. She's also been doing ephemera and all kinds of goodies. Whoops. No. I wasn't ready for you to stick down yet. I'm trying to do this without getting my head in the camera. So, but there's our backing piece. And then now, again, I'm going to come in with this just to measure how this is going to sit with this right here. Whoops. With this right here. If I can get it straight, it would be wonderful. So yeah, roughly about there. So let me see. Pull out one of my pencils and just to put, I'm putting a mark right there to know where my corner needs to go at. And now I'm going to put adhesive on the tab. Here. And now I am going to glue this bottom piece down. You don't have to if you want like a really deep pocket for the pocket to go all the way down. But I don't. So I'm going to glue that down. And there you go. And make sure you've got your pocket straight. And now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually do like we did before in the previous video. Take in, when you're pressing the top two corners down, kind of like pull away from each other a little bit. It makes a tighter pocket, and that's what I'm wanting, is a tighter pocket, because there's really nothing to like, and I see the page is bowing just a little bit, but it's okay because that will, once we get the stuff on the back of the page, that'll stop. And once we've got that one down, I'm going to line this up, and I don't think I scored this straight. Nope, I did not. So simple fix if you run into that problem. Well, it is a simple fix if you know where your bone folder's at. Aha, there it is. It's a simple fix if you don't score it. I'm wondering why I'm having difficulty seeing. It's because I don't have my glasses on. Okay, now that I've got my vision back, you just line it up down at the bottom here. If you mess up, just line it, whatever it is that you're trying to rescore, line it up at the bottom. This is the, well, for me, this is the easiest, and just hold it down and then just recrease it. It's not a big deal. So and there. Now I'm going to line this up with the bottom of the page, just like that. And now this part will get glued down, but I'm not going to glue this down until I put the paper on the back there. In the same way with the top pocket, you just want to attach your adhesive to the tab along the bottom as well, and along the side here. I put a little bit too much right there, and I put a little bit too much again. And then you basically want to match corner to corner at the bottom, and then gently lay it down. And again, at your top part, when you're pressing it down, pull away from each other. Especially since I have that incorrect score line, I don't want that to bow up. There we go. And now mine, I got it just a little bit too low, so I don't want that corner showing. Whoopsie. Well, it'll be okay, because I just totally messed my page up. But I'm just gonna leave it because my glue has already adhered down there. So just leave it. For me anyway, but just make sure you don't see the corner right there. It's not a big deal though, because I mean, this is mine. I'm not going to sell this. This is my personal one, because I am using this as an ephemeral, an idea book. So, and you want to open this up right here and make sure it's adhered down really well at the bottom, especially since I pulled it up to try to fix it back. But there we go. Now, the papers I am using on this, I've got this gorgeous one that it just simply slides down into it like this. So that one's going to go there. This gorgeous background page is going to go here, like so, and then we'll glue here and along the bottom, and then I'm going to put this one right here. And now I will come back later and decorate this. But for now, I'm just getting I'm getting the base built, and I'm getting all of my background papers on. Now this top one may be a little tricky. I probably should have put it down first before I put the pocket on, but it will be okay. Just have to do some maneuvering. Woo. There we go. Take my phone folder, get that down behind that. Wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be. Woohoo! there is that one. But I am going to be making another mini album with these kits. I don't know if I'm going to be using both kits or just Esther's or just mine. I haven't decided yet. Well, I know I want to build one with just mine. And just Esther's as well, you know. But I'm just trying to decide. Well, I guess I just decided. Both the kits are so pretty. So on this one, you see where I put the glue just at the bottom and along just the left side right there. And then you're going to fold this over, lining up the bottom, and then pull outward, like pull towards the left to get a very tight, well, not a very tight, but a snug pocket. And that's what I'm wanting. I'm wanting a snug pocket with no gaps, because it holds it better. But like that, and then she is going to go right here. Now I may come back in with like a saying or one of the fussy cuts. I haven't decided yet. But the albums that I make using the one for just mine and just Esther's, they will be put in my Ko-fi shop, because that's where that's basically where I sell everything at. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do a tutorial on those or not. But I do have a bunch of tutorials coming up, guys, for y'all. So, but there is the front of page 2. And I'm loving it. I'm not loving how you can, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but here I can see where I put the glue at on this background page. Again, this was printed on the thinner paper. It was before I got the paper that I normally use. So, but now this is the back of page 1. And for this, I'm going to be using this gorgeous page here. But before I put this page down, I want to show y'all how to make these. They're photo mats, but they swivel. So during this collaboration, I asked each participant to do one page for a journal or a mini album, whichever one they chose to, and one piece of ephemera. So this is my piece of ephemera. So these swivel, and to make this, it's simple. You can do this in a junk journal as well, or a mini album like I'm doing here. The concept of this is you put these down here, and then you put your journaling space or pockets. You could attach a pocket to the front to tuck like a journaling card, or a photo mat. In my case, I'm going to be doing a photo mat. And these measure 4 1/4 across, and the height of them are 3 1/4, and you will need 2 of them. Now, on the bottom left corner of the top one, you're going to need to poke a hole. And then on the bottom one is the top left, you're going to poke a hole. And like I said, for me, and I'm going to be using photo mats, and then this is some of that gorgeous paper that I created. just using just the coffee dyed paper and then the stencil that I'm going to be using for all of my photo mats. So I'm going to put this one here and then this one here. And I've already poked the hole in both the bottom piece and the top piece, and when I glue this down, I'm going to line those holes up. So, I mean, this was just a quick and, it's quick and simple. And I wanted to do this one more beginner friendly, whether you're new to junk journals or mini albums. Yeah, this is going to be fun trying to line up that hole. There we go. I thought about putting the hole in first it would be a little bit easier, but I thought wrong. So there. But yeah, this one I decided just to keep beginner friendly. So there's the top one. And I love how you can take and use this in either a junk journal or a mini album, because you can take and do the exact same thing I'm doing. Like if you use digitals or scrapbook paper, whatever you use to make the journal with, you can take the decorative papers from that and cut it down to size. If you to make it a little bit sturdier, you do want to print it on cardstock, and then just add you can use lined paper or blank, like stenciled coffee dyed paper like I did here, and you can write on it, or you can make a small pocket here to where you can tuck a journal card in to write on, to journal on. Now I've got 2 small gold brads that I'm just going to put right through those holes, like so. Now, before you attach this down, we want to attach these to our base page so that you don't get the little bitty prong things on the back of the brad showing. So I'm gonna just line this up and position it on the page the way I want it first, and then come in with the card and lay that down to where I want it as well. And I think it's cool because when you swivel these out, it's like a little, you get to see the full view of the gorgeous little house, the house behind it. So making sure I get these lined up and spaced just the way I want them. Right there's good. I'm going to take my pencil, and where I made those holes at, I'm going to do the exact same thing on the paper, using the holes as my guide. So I've got both my marks. I'm going to pull out my pokey tool and gently poke a hole through where I marked at. It doesn't have to be big, just the tip of my pokey tool is the only thing that's going through the paper. And now you want to attach these to your base page before you glue it down. And you just you put the brad through these holes, and then you line it up with the holes back here. And I try to make sure when I open the brad up, the little bitty legs part of the brad are going side to side, so that I make sure the paper on this side gets adhered down good enough. And you just open it up like that. Now make sure when you close it, when you open it up like that, it's not making the page pucker. You want your page to lay flat but you want these to be down secure enough. So your page, make sure your page is not puckering from them. And you do the same with this. This time when I insert it in, I'm going to make sure the legs are on either side when it opens. And I did not, so rotate it again. There we go. And open these up, push it down, hold it up and make sure my page is not puckering, but that these are secured down enough. And there we go. Now, see how they're free right here? It won't be like that once I glue the page down. So holding these, flip it over and apply your adhesive. And now I want to make sure that I apply some adhesive to those feet as well. I don't know how I got a hole in my paper right there, but it's okay, it's going to be glued down. But yeah, make sure that there's glue on those feet as well so that your brads don't move, and it holds the paper down securely. To the page. I'm butterfingers this morning. Ooh, either my glue's coming out way too fast or like slower than molasses this morning. And yes, I'm doing another 6 o'clock video. This one seems to be going a little bit better than my last one. If you don't know what I'm talking about, y'all got to go see that video. Yeah. It was a hot mess. Oh lordy, it was a hot mess. Alright, so let's pull this back up and line our paper up. And yes, you are seeing correctly. This paper is safety pins. In the previous video I said that I had some paper left over from where I did a baby book, and the yellow just happened to be perfect for this. So I decided, you know, this has just been sitting in my stash forever. So, but yeah, so it swivels out that way, and it swivels out this way, and you get to see the full view of the house, and then you've got your photo mats here. I love how this looks. Now, so that is the front and the back of page 2, the first part of page 2 done. I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to come in with the second part of page 2. So these I want to attach before I attach my base page, because I don't want to see this part of my tab on my paper. So this measures 5 by 5 1/4, and this is going to be a flip out for the left side of the page. Is it the left side? Hold on a minute, guys. I've got to make sure I do this correctly. No, right side of the page. Oh, I thought this was a good video, so, but anyway. So that's going to be a flip out for the right side of the page. And then this is a flip up for the top of the page. And this measures 5 1/4 by 8. Both of these have a 1/2 inch tab, so this tab goes at the top, and then this one will go on the right side of the page. So you want to make a score line at 1/2 inch, down from the top, and then you just simply fold on that score line. And then the same thing with this. You want to make a 1/2 inch tab on the right side. It's 1/2 inch in. And get that burnished. Now I'm going to do this first. I'm going to attach this. And I'm going to try, it doesn't have to necessarily be centered unless you want it to be centered, but I'm going to come in right about 1.5 inches up from the bottom. And I'm going to put this right to the edge of the page, like that. And take and make sure that's adhered good. Whoops. There we go. And now this one will get adhered to the top of my page, and this one I do want to get it centered. I do not know what is up with my glue this morning. It's like thick. And I do use a mixture of equal parts Aleene's Tacky Glue and Art Glitter Glue because I like the adherence of Art Glitter Glue, but I don't like how fast it adheres. So by adding the tacky glue to it, it gives me just a little bit more wiggle time on it. So let's see. This is, so I'm going to try to get this as centered as possible. So yeah, you want to come in 1/2 inch on each side. So you have 1/2 inch on this side, 1/2 inch on this side. And making sure that's lined up at the top nicely. And then bring your bone folder in and make sure that's adhered down really good. So now for this one, I am using this gorgeous page as my base page. I'm going to push you up a little bit, and this will go here. I'm going to pull it up just a little bit more, making sure not to go completely into that score line, just up to it. I need to pull it over just a little bit more. There we go. And now on this page right here, I have got this gorgeous, this was from, it's a leftover from one of the pages of my kit, and I decided I'm going to do it like this. It'll go just like that. And guys, I can't believe I did this. I just realized I don't have a page for my back here. Yeah. Okay, so I'll have to cut a page for that later, and I will show y'all that. But I am not believing I did not cut a base page or a page, decorative page for that part. Wow. So now I'm just going to glue this down. Ooh, way too much glue. I may get a video out to y'all that doesn't have at least one blooper in it. Or mess up. I can't believe I didn't cut a page for that. I thought when I was prepping for this video, because I cut all my pages ahead of time so that I don't have to do any cutting on camera, because I usually use my guillotine cutter and it is noisy, so I just prefer not to have to whip that out while I am crafting. And I cut all of this days ago, and I was wondering when I was getting everything laid out to film, I'm like, why does it feel like I'm missing something? Now I know why it feels like I'm missing something. And then let me do this page right here. And on this one, I'm just going to because this is actually the top right corner of that, well, this is the top right corner of that page. And so I didn't want to throw it away. It was a scrap, so, and it fit perfectly here. So I just rotated it, and that's how I'm going to use it. But yeah, I was something, it didn't, the page, my mind was telling me, hey, pages don't add up. But I'm like, no, I cut everything. I know I cut everything. Yeah, I thought I cut everything. Unless that page has gotten mixed up with one of the other groups of pages. I don't know. I could have sworn I cut everything already. But it's okay. Like I said, I'll just, off camera, I'll cut a page to go there, and I will, in the next video, I will show y'all that page. And then on the front here, I realized when I was laying all the pages out that I hadn't cut a photo mat for here either. So I will, off camera, I will cut a photo mat, and I'll stencil it and everything, and I'll show you that photo mat, and I'll show you the page, the paper for the back of this page as well. So, but let's go to the front here. Now, for this front right here, I am going to do a pocket. And now, with the 1/2 inch tab on both sides, this page measures, it's supposed to be 6 1/4, but when I cut it, I accidentally, it's supposed to be 6 1/4 wide, but when I cut the page, I accidentally cut it at 6 inches. Well, I mean, yeah, it's 6 inches. So, I mean, so on this side, on mine, it only has a 1/4 of an inch tab, but it's supposed to have a 1/2 inch tab on this and this, and also the bottom. And this one measures 4 1/4. So, and we're going to fold in these tabs. So when you're doing this, you want to cut your page, your pocket, 6 1/4 inch wide, and then on both sides, you want to score in at 1/2 inch. And then at the bottom, you want to cut it to 4 1/4 inch, and you want to score in 1/2 inch. Now you'll have, the paper will be square. You want to come in and you want to angle cut here, along this and along this, so that you don't have that extra bulk, and that at the top here, the corners, you don't see those at the top. It's just a smooth, when you lay the pocket down, it's just a seamless pocket. So we're going to fold all this in and apply our glue. Now I'm using my mix, like I said, 50/50 art glitter glue and the Aleene's tacky glue. If you want to use the double-sided adhesive tape or like score tape, you can. I use that sometimes, but I don't use the score tape. I use I get mine off of Amazon, and it works just as good. So this page, this right here, we want to put it down at the bottom of our flip up. So, and this pocket covers the width of our flip up. So, and again, you want to take, starting at the center, pull outward on your pocket so that you get a snug fit for the pocket, so that nothing falls out, because this is a flip up, and when you flip it up, you don't want whatever you put in the pocket to fall out. So now this is gapping like that because this is bowing. So, but once we get it in the, once I get it in the album and pressure gets put down on it, this will stop bowing. It won't bow anymore. So, and for behind here, I've got, this is just one of the background pages. It's the yellow background, and it just slides right down in the pocket like that. And then this is part of that page that I used on the inside flip. This was the top right corner of that. So this is going to go here, like so. And again, I will be coming back in later and decorating the pages. So I'm going to go ahead and get our pocket adhered down real quick. And this is just a misprint, and I don't, when on my misprints, if the paper is thick enough, it won't bleed through. But because I am using this thinner paper, a few of my misprints I could not reuse, but typically I will reuse my misprints and just print on the back of them so that I'm not wasting paper. So there is that, and then I'm going to do the same thing up here. And I love this mix, this glue mix. One of the YouTubers I follow, she does the same thing, but she adds a little bit, just I think it's like a 1/4 of a teaspoon, or an 1/8 of a teaspoon, excuse me, of water to hers. But I found that sometimes by adding the water, it can make your page bow a little, and I didn't like that. So the next time I did my mix, I just omitted the water, and it's great. I don't have any bowing on my paper, any rippling or anything like that. So, but there is that. And now I'm wanting to add, whoops, I got some glue right there. I'm wanting to add a closure for this. So I'm going to use this closure like I did on the first page. And this piece measures 3 inches by 1 1/4. This one does not have a score on it. And then this one measures 2 1/2 by 3/4, and I scored in at 1/2 inch on each side so that it wraps around. And then this right here, I'm going to put this band right, center it, and put it right here at the bottom of the page. And this, I'm not going to use any magnet or anything. This is going to be attached to down to my pocket, and then this will just simply slide up under it. So first, let me put, and I think actually, well, no, because you won't see the back of this. So I'm going to put, this is the sunflower paper. This is just a scrap from one of them, and I'm going to put my sunflowers at the bottom so that you can see them. Again, a misprint. My ink, I was printing something on the back of this. I can't remember what it was, and my ink, like the ink cartridge, bled. When I first got the printer, my current printer, it kept doing that, and I couldn't, still don't know why it was doing it. It kept, like, the ink kept bleeding, like, it's almost like the cartridges were leaking. And I mean, I know there wasn't anything wrong with the cartridges because they were brand new. And I thought, well, okay, maybe it was that one cartridge. So I uninstalled that one and installed a new one, and it was doing it the same thing. So I don't know. I don't know if it was because it was a new printer or what. I have no clue. But it fixed itself. So, and that's another scrap from this sunflower paper that I'm going to put on the little, I'm calling it a buckle. This design, I think I told you in the last video, Kristen or Christina creates or creations or something like that. I'll have to find her YouTube video. I'll have to find her channel and link it below. But this was one of her the layout was one of her designs, and I loved it so much. I'm like, I've got to try that. And I love how this is turning out so far. But this is how I'm going to attach this. Now, to make sure I get this on straight, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but come in with a clip and clip it. That way when you put this on, you know this little buckle thing is going to go on straight. And at the very bottom, I am going to add some glue. If I can get my glue bottle to cooperate. But yeah, add some glue to the very bottom, and I'm going to come up about 1/16 of an inch with my glue. Flip it over. And now again, I do want to make sure that this is centered, so I know that that is 1/2 inch in on each side. So, well, come in. So that's 8 1/2 by pretty much 4 1/2, or yeah. So roughly about here is where I'm going to attach it. Now you want to make sure you attach this straight, because if you don't, your buckle won't work correctly. I mean, when you, yeah, it won't lay correctly, if you understand what I'm saying. So there. Now, gently lift this up because your glue is still drying. And you want to put some glue on the back of the buckle part. And you're probably sitting here thinking, what about the clip? Well, I will show you. Now, I got glue on the little strap part by accident. You do not want any of the glue from the buckle to get on the back of the strap, because it will adhere the strap into the buckle. I have done that before. So now you want to gently lay this down. Now, you see how I put my finger right here at the bottom of the buckle? That's to hold it in place so you can remove the clip or paper clip or whatever you choose to hold the buckle straight and in the position you want to before you glue it. And there. Now, got your buckle on here. It's straight. Any glue that seeps out, you want to come in and remove that. And now I'm going to hold this because this is still drying. Your little strap here just pulls out. Ooh. And then it just goes back in as well. Like so. There you go. Now you want to make sure that these are adhered down pretty well. I probably should have put a score line right there so that it doesn't get pulled up. So that's what I'm going to come in here and do. We're going to make a score line on a fly, guys. So you want to get that even. And just with your bone folder, come in and create a score line. Now you want to push down a little bit because you are going through the thick cardstock and your decorative paper. Now let's pull our little buckle out and see how that right there started pulling up because I didn't have that score line. So we're going to just fold that down like that, and I think I may have to apply a little bit more glue right here because, like I said, my paper did decide it was going to start coming up, but no issues, no worries. Well, issues, but no worries. So let me just press that down, and I'm just going to leave that right there to allow that to dry. But that is the inside of the back part of page 2. Now I'm going to flip this over and we're going to do the front part of the back of page 2 because each of the pages are in 2 pieces. You have the front flap for the page and then you have the back one. So this one is the back one for the page. And I did check and make sure I cut all the pieces for this one, guys. And now this one is where also your second piece of ribbon is going to come in. And again on this one, I want to attach my interactive element to my base page first. So this piece measures 6 5/8 with a 1/2 inch tab on the left side. So the width of it is 6 5/8 with a 1 inch tab. That 6 5/8 includes the 1/2 inch tab on the left side of the page. And then my width is 5. So we have the tab here. I've already scored it. Already burnished it. We're going to apply glue to the back. And then this one again, I want to come in and roughly center it. So about roughly here. There you go. I'm not being too persnickety about the centering of some of these flaps because they're interactive elements and you can pretty much put them at the top if you wanted to, at the bottom, dead center. I mean, the choice is yours. So you don't really have to do what I'm doing. The only thing is the only thing you have to make sure of is that this is on the left side of your page, because on this side is where we're going to attach the page to our spine. So you don't want it to open up coming into your spine. You want to be able to open it up, and like for me, I'm going to have a photo mat on the back here, but I'm also going to have journaling. I'm going to have a small, I'm going to have on the side, I'm going to have journaling space. So I want to be able to journal, and if this was on the right side, it wouldn't lay flat enough and correct enough for you to be able to journal. So now, again, I'm going to attach my ribbon under my base page, but to make sure that I have it lined up with the one for the top page, I'm going to line my pages up like that, top and bottom, and I'm going to come in and attach this in the same location that I have the one for the top of the page, for the top of page 2. And I noticed on that one I didn't get it straight. It is a little crooked, but it'll be okay. So we got that attached. And then here is my decorative page. And this one comes from Esther's kit. I love how she added the geometric elements to her kit, because they balance each other, guys. I mean, if you haven't purchased the kits, please go to our shops, and I mean, if you don't even want to purchase them, just take a look at them. Esther did such a wonderful job with this kit. So I mean, but you can get a preview of each of the kits in our shops. So if you see it, if you're watching me and you see the pieces, and if you're still unsure whether or not you want to buy it, just go over to our shops, and you can get a preview. Because with me, mine aren't in whole pieces like Esther's is, because I am doing a mini album. My pages are cut down to fit, whether it be the interactive pieces of this element, of this journal, or the base pages of the journal, so you're not getting the full page view. So, but now on the back of our flap, I am going to use, again, another piece. Do I want to do yellow? Yeah, I think I'm going to do yellow. Another piece of this gorgeous paper that I created that I'm using for my photo mats. And it's going to go here. I showed y'all in the video last week how I made this paper. And it's just a thin copy paper that I used to print the kits on. And I took my blending brush and my Distress Oxide. This green color you're seeing right here is Bundled Sage. And then the yellow color is Scattered Straw. And then I also used, for the blue, I used Stormy Skies. And the purple is the Wilted Violets. And I just took the my blender brush for each color and just did it in a circular pattern all over the paper until it got the desired color I wanted. And then I cut each of the mats down to the size that I needed, and I actually took the edges and I just ran them along the ink pad. I didn't use a brush, a dauber, or anything. I literally just took the edge of all sides of that piece and scraped it along the ink pad. And I made sure I got these right here so that the color, it gives a contrast for when you put a photo down, you get those pops of color all the way around. And then here on the back, let's go ahead and burnish that down. I didn't do that earlier. Good enough. I mean, on the front, I've got this piece. This is another piece from my kit, and it's going to go right here like that. And see, you can see how it's just, it's HP paper too, but it's their 20-pound weight. I had a paper subscription for it. Even black and white, if I went to go like print out just words, it still had really bad bleed on the back side of it. And somebody told me that it was my printer saturation, the color saturation setting on the printer, and that I could go in and change that. Well, I did. I changed my color saturation. I even, because my printer wants to keep printing on the HP photo paper setting, so I went in and I changed that to where it's just plain paper, and it still did that. So, I mean, I think it's just the paper, but there's that. And now I'm going to bring in the mini album. Ooh. And this is where page 2 is going to go, and it's going to go right here. So here's the front of page 2. The tab here is going to attach to the tab there. So I'm going to grab my glue and just apply it to this tab. And line up the score line on my tab with the score line on the little hinge here. Kind of like fold it up a little bit and making sure that the pages are even top to bottom. And attach it. And also making sure that when this page lays down, it meets up with the bottom of that page. So that goes like that. Making sure that it's adhered really well. Fixing these from where I grabbed them. And then here's the back. Did I just... Yes, I did. I glued this on the wrong side. This was supposed to have been over here. Don't think I can remove it without messing up my paper, but let me try. Oh, yes I can. Haha. Now, let's redo this again. And this is going to have to go over on this, like this right here. So, let me flip you up. And I'll come back in with the circle. Or can I? No, I cannot. Well, this is going to be held closed anyway, so yeah, I'm not paying attention. It's supposed to go in like this, so my ribbon needs to be here. It needs to be on. What I should have done is when I had it like this, it needed to go on the right side. So I'm just going to attach it there anyway. Now this comes in, let me see how I did this. Yep, that's how it comes in. Alright, this comes in on the front of this page, like so. And now I will come in with a strip down here. So I'm not worried about that, but what I am worried about is I've got to get this lined up. It would help if I actually grab the page and not the cover. Like so. And now fold this over. And I'm going to take my pencil and mark right there. That's where my glue is going to go. And now the end of this ribbon will be covered up by the photo mat here, so I'm not worried about that. It'll add a little bulk under the photo mat, but it'll be okay. It's not something that I'm going to cry about. And now let's go ahead and add our little I didn't think this was going to be this hard to get open, but apparently I was wrong. Well, not open to get it to go in. There we go. Now, and again, I'm going to come in on the tab here. I'm going to apply the glue. Making sure I go up to the score line that's on my hinge, but not all the way, you know what I'm saying? And I think this is going to be easier to do it this way. So you want to line up the bottom of your page with the edge of the score line and the bottom of the hinge, and go all the way up, making sure that you're not going over the score line. Like so. There we go. And then I'm just going to flip it over here and take my bone folder and come down and make sure that it's nice and burnished. Like so. Voila. And now this comes over here, and then these simply get tied into a pretty little bow. Like so. And there's page 2. Now I will come in later and snip these to where that's not going to fray like that. But yeah, that's page 1 and page 2 of the mini album, guys. I'm loving how this is turning out so far. So I hope y'all enjoyed that, blunders and all. And we will talk to y'all later. I hope y'all have a wonderful and blessed day, guys. Bye, crafty friends.